Good evening. An Ottawa family, while in the midst of grief, is taking time to say thank you tonight. They say they're devastated to share the 13-year-old involved in last week's chairlift incident at Vorlage Ski Hill has passed away. But as they mourn, they're sending a message of gratitude to the community. CTV's Stefan Keys reports.
While police tape indicates a ski resort shut down by an emergency, a small pink pony and a bouquet of flowers leaves the lasting impression of how young the person at the center of it was. First responders say a 13-year-old girl had a piece of clothing get caught in a chairlift at Centre Vorlage while on a school trip last week, and that she was left stuck out of her seat high above the ground. Too high for anyone to rescue before emergency crews arrived. By the time she got back to the bottom of the hill, she was in critical condition. That was Wednesday. Now, less than a week later, her family says they are devastated to share she did not survive. Releasing this joint statement with the Children's Hospital in Ottawa, they also say this: "We would like to extend our love to all of those affected by this terrible tragedy. We are also grateful for everyone who took heroic action to help save our precious child." Her sweet, bubbly spirit and love for those around her will live on through the lives she has touched and the lives she has saved through Trillium Gift of Life organ donation. The popular ski resort has been closed since the day it happened, but is scheduled to reopen Tuesday, issuing the following statement: "Safety remains an absolute priority for our entire team, and the resort will continue its efforts to ensure a careful and respectful return to normal operations for everyone affected by this tragic accident." Even then, Ottawa's largest school board is suspending all ski trips involving chairlifts, and the investigation isn't over.
Not only there's a police investigation, but now there's a coroner investigation. So a coroner was named on the Ontario side. That person will work closely to our detective. Same goal. We want to know what happened that day.
Stefan Keys, CTV News.
We have extended coverage of the fatal chairlift incident in Vorlage Ski Hill. You can find more online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, a giant of Canadian broadcasting and longtime radio host on News Talk 580 CFRA has passed away. Lowell Green is being remembered as a passionate community advocate and a voice for Ottawa residents. For decades, he dominated the airwaves in Ottawa and helped create meaningful change in the city, province, and across the country. Tonight, his family is grieving the loss of not just a public figure, but a brother, a husband, a father, and a grandfather. CTV's Sean Barton has this story.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Harry, you're on CFRA. Good morning.
A legend of Ottawa's airwaves, Lowell Green, has died.
If there's anything else that you want to discuss, let's do it, folks.
Green was known for his 5 decades on News Talk 580 CFRA and as host of The Lowell Green Show.
He really believed in the things that he stood for, and he'd stand up for them vehemently sometimes, passionately most of the time.
One of his biggest passions, promoting Canadian unity during the Quebec referendum of 1995.
I wanted to find the truth. I spoke and said what I felt was true.
Why in 13 years, you damn liberals?
There was more to Green than just lighting up the capital's airwaves. He helped found the Ottawa chapter of Big Brother, the Help Santa Toy Parade, and the Rideau River Conservation Authority. His granddaughter Samantha Green remembers his devotion to family, even inspiring her to pursue a career in media.
He always cared so much, and he cared so much when, any of us were upset or happy. Like, he was our biggest cheerleader, and that goes for everybody in the family. We'll just miss him very much.
Friends and former colleagues remembering the iconic voice of Ottawa.
He basically pioneered the format of talk radio in our city and in our country. It was through Lowell Green's show that people expressed their views.
Every time the clock ticks over to 10 o'clock, I think about how this was Lowell Green's spot.
In a statement, Bell Media Ottawa's Director of News and Information Programming, Joanne Wu, said, "Lowell set a standard for opinion-driven broadcasting that was fearless, unmistakable, and deeply rooted in the community. Beyond the microphone, Lowell was a tireless advocate for local causes, charitable organizations, and civic initiatives."
I think the ability to have a role in the life of the community, to play a role, an important role, and it has been an important role.
When he retired in 2016, he was North America's longest-running open-line talk show host. Green leaves behind a legacy that continues to this day.
whether they disagreed with his politics or not. And, sometimes I disagreed myself on some things. That's okay. He was still a person at the end of the day and a human being. And he was a brother, a husband, a father, and a grandfather. So, that's what was always most important to us as his family.
Lowell Green died suddenly Saturday at the age of 89. Sean Varden, CTV News.
Current News Talk 580 CFRA morning show host Bill Carroll writing on social media, Ottawa and Canada have lost an absolute legend. He inspired and rallied Canadians on many important causes. Lowell Green has passed after 89 remarkable years. He provided the template for any broadcaster who wants to share their views with this great country. And we have more on the tributes pouring in for Lowell Green and how he is being remembered online. You can visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. And it's now time for our first check on weather. We did see some light snow moving through parts of eastern Ontario, including here in downtown Ottawa. It is expected to taper off in the next 20 minutes or so. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It's -3 out there right now. Still fairly mild conditions for this time of year, but keep in mind a freezing drizzle advisory is still in effect for pretty much most of eastern Ontario. It could lead to icy, slippery conditions overnight into Tuesday morning. So we are keeping a close eye on this. We did see some light flurries have since passed now, but tomorrow morning around 5 a.m. you could see some rain moving through Kingston as well as the Brockville area. Perhaps some freezing rain depending on how cool it does get. It is anticipated to have mainly cloudy skies for most of our Tuesday. Temperature-wise, a daytime high of about 3 degrees. Going to cool down though in the evening as cloudy conditions persist. Not much in terms of sunshine. We'll get a longer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit. Now, the public service cuts will see dozens of positions eliminated at Library and Archives Canada. The department has issued letters to 94 employees, informing them it plans to cut a total of 56 positions. Thousands of letters have been sent to federal public servants as the government looks to reduce the size of the workforce. The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation says construction of new homes was down in this country last month. The annual pace of housing starts declined 15% in January. The seasonally adjusted annual rate was more than 238,000 units. That was compared with over 280,000 units in December. Actual housing starts were up 1% year over year in centres with a population of 10,000 or greater. Meantime, sales of motor vehicles and foods helped Canada's total manufacturing sales rise 0.6% to $71 billion in December. StatsCan says it follows 2 consecutive monthly declines. Motor vehicle sales alone rose 12% to $4.3 billion as production increased at a major auto assembly plant in Ontario. Sales of food products were up 2% to roughly $13 billion. The federal government's revamped electric vehicle rebate program went into effect today. Canadians are now able to access up to $5,000 from Ottawa to put toward purchasing a new electric vehicle. Plug-in hybrids are eligible for $2,500 in subsidies. The federal Liberals are spending $2.3 billion on the new incentive program. Ottawa's photo radar cameras may be dark, but tens of thousands of drivers still haven't paid the speeding tickets they received last year. New data provided to CTV News shows there are more than 81,000 unpaid photo radar tickets worth $12 million in fines. The cameras went dark November 14th, but anyone who was nabbed by photo radar before then still has to pay the fine. A historic site in the Hintonburg neighborhood could soon disappear. There's plans to demolish the Carlton Tavern and build a high-rise at the site, but the developer says it does want to rebuild the pub and give it a much-needed makeover. The Carlton Tavern is located at the corner of Armstrong and Parkdale Avenue. CTV's Dave Charbonneau has more on the redevelopment.
For more than a quarter century, Len Mackey has called the Carlton Tavern his home away from home.
25 years, maybe, or more.
Like many regulars, he's concerned that the historic Carlton Tavern could be gone soon. Taggart Realty has submitted an application for a 38-story development in this entire block.
Hoping they'll leave the bottom part just as a tavern. Hopefully.
The proposal would include 465 units and 322 parking spaces. The Carlton Tavern would be reimagined as part of the new development.
As part of the development, Taggart is proposing to put another building that would have lots of nods to the current Carlton and presumably for some kind of a restaurant use, whether that is the Carlton Tavern relocating back into the building or another business. The Carlton is a storied institution in Ottawa. Generations of people who have worked at Tunney's Pasture, for instance, have popped in here for after work beers.
The Carlton Tavern's history dates back to 1935 as a hotel. However, the building does not have official heritage protection.
It's not a heritage building. It would be difficult to declare it a heritage building. So Taggart is within its rights to propose that demolition.
Demolition is proposed because of its age, structural deterioration, and the need for major site remediation, including cleaning up groundwater contamination. Councillor Leeper states many residents are concerned about the development. Others support it.
The concept and the drawings look wonderful. So, and maybe to replace some of these little bit run-down buildings would be fine. I don't think so. Going to revitalize this area, right? Because now Hintonburg is supposed to be the place to come and hang out. But yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I think it might be time for a little bit of a refresh. And it's probably going to be a great bump for the market, because the market isn't quite the same as it was years ago. So maybe that'll bring that back up. It's going to be a hugely tall building, though. So it's going to be kind of a standout in the neighborhood.
Councillor Leeper has scheduled an open house February 24th. The owners of the Carlton Tavern declined to comment on the proposal. Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Had an amazing time skating on the canal all winter long. We've seen the ice sculptures, and this is the last thing we haven't done.
Winterlude 2026 comes to a close, and residents and tourists were out enjoying the sunshine and mild temperatures at the Winter Festival. But a reminder, the Rideau Canal Skateway will temporarily close tonight, or it has closed tonight, as crews can smooth out the ice surface. Here's a live look through our Centennial Class Skycam showcasing downtown Ottawa. It's about -3 right now. Saw some light flurries move through the region, but keep in mind it's since cleared, but tomorrow morning we could anticipate some freezing drizzle throughout the region. It is the final day of Winterlude and likely one of the busiest. Kids were off school for Family Day, and many parents also took the day off from work. The weather was favorable for winter fun. Thousands of people were out at the festival sites enjoying the sunny blue skies and mild temperatures. Here's CTV's Kimberly Johnson.
Oh, this is so high. This is so high.
6-year-old twins Ikel and Anea are getting ready for a big run.
You're going to slide into a gigantic slide of snow. I'm going to scream for joy.
They're enjoying Family Day at Jacques Cartier Park's Snowflake Kingdom.
It's about enjoying the winter, living the winter despite being in a hibernation at home. But we get to enjoy Winterlude every year.
Families flocking to the gigantic winter playground for the final day of Winterlude.
Had an amazing time skating on the canal all winter long. We've seen the ice sculptures, and this is the last thing we haven't done. And there's just way more to do here than I even thought.
Winterlude officials say that across all of the sites over Winterlude, they see about 500,000 people. The festival drawing people to the hills and snow and to the ice. The Rideau Canal packed with skaters enjoying the mild temperatures and sunshine Monday ahead of the Skateway's temporary closure. Others taking in the ice sculptures at Confederation Park.
It's amazing to have this in the middle of the city and on a beautiful winter day.
Winterlude officials say the chilly temperatures this year allowed for the ice sculptures to hold up through the entire festival.
The third weekend right now on the final day has been probably the most popular, most attended out of all 3 weekends.
There are 87 ice sculptures across the region, requiring more than 1,000 ice blocks.
I really like the journey home because I find they use a good technicality, and I like the base plate and the terrain.
The sculptures and Winterlude igniting Liam Connor's imagination.
Overall, I very much like it. I like it very much.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
And if you were hoping to get a skate in on the Rideau Canal Skateway late this evening, you may have found yourself out of luck. As of 10 p.m. this evening, the skateway is now temporarily closed due to the warmer temperatures. The NCC says this is a precautionary measure to preserve the ice surface and hopes to reopen the skateway as soon as conditions allow. Now, the Rideau Canal was one of the busiest spots over the weekend, and according to the National Capital Commission, there were more than 140,000 visits to the skateway just this past Saturday and Sunday. So yes, no luck with the skateway for at least the next few days. But again, we are looking at milder conditions for this time of year. -2 for those overnight lows. There is a risk of freezing drizzle well into the early parts of tomorrow morning. It should clear by the noon hour, but we are anticipating cloudy skies for most of our Tuesday. Daytime high will be 3 degrees. Now, overnight lows across eastern Ontario sitting around the freezing mark, so about 0 in Brockville, -1 in Kingston, but -3 in Pembroke, as well as Petawawa. While it's clear skies in Montreal, we did see some flurries moving through the province. Now, as we can see for tomorrow's highs, mainly cloudy skies for Pembroke and Bancroft, 2 degrees. The daytime high, 5 degrees in Kittigan-Zibi, and about 3 degrees in Ottawa, as well as Cornwall and Brockville, as well as Kemptville. Taking a look now, keep in mind freezing drizzle advisory still in effect, but we do want to keep an eye on the winter storm watch in place for Wednesday, and this is for parts of Belleville, Peterborough, and even parts of the GTA. So not quite getting the snow for here in Ottawa Wednesday, but we are keeping a close eye because the winds could change, just really shift towards Ottawa. But for now, Wednesday, 10 to 15 centimeters anticipated for parts of southern Ontario, as well as perhaps Belleville and Peterborough, but should clear by Thursday morning. Now, a look at the next several days can see that Wednesday we're getting to a daytime high of 0. We may see some flurries move through, but again, not as much snow as parts of the GTA, as well as parts of the 401 we'll see. Now, it was another successful day for Team Canada at the Winter Olympics, the country picking up some more medals, and the Canadian women's hockey team going to the gold medal game. Freestyle skier Megan Oldham capturing Canada's 2nd gold medal of the Games in the women's big air final. She also won a bronze medal last week in women's slopestyle. And Courtney Saru picked up her 3rd medal today, winning silver in short track speed skating earlier this morning and finishing 2nd in the women's 1,000-meter race. Meanwhile, on the ice, the women's hockey team beat Switzerland 2-1 to advance to the gold medal game where they'll face the U.S. Captain Marie-Philippe Poulin scored both goals, breaking the women's Olympic goal-scoring record. And on the curling rink, Team Homan winning twice, keeping their playoff hopes alive. Canada is now 13th in the standings with 2 gold medals, 4 silver, and 5 bronze.
Something family, something
and just ahead from
me as
thrills
well.
on the hills to getting out on the rink, some unique locations kids and parents are enjoying for Family Day across the capital that will get the heart pumping. Thousands of people were out enjoying Family Day across the region. Many were outside taking part in winter activities, but others also had a chance to learn about heart health during Heart Month. CTV's Camille Wilson has more.
Winterlude isn't the only popular attraction this Family Day. Maria Martinez and her family are at La Domaine de l'Ange Gardien near Gatineau.
We wanted to find something winter, something family, something to introduce me as well to the Canadian culture. Mom is from Brazil.
Getting a chance to try tubing for the first time.
It couldn't be any more like Family Day. Papa's Canadian, so it's a mix of all of these elements, and we are having so much fun.
Hundreds of families spent the day at the snow tubing hill.
We have some nice snow, nice sunny day, so it's a really amazing day. So we're welcoming Family Day, people from Ontario. We're glad to see everyone.
8 slides to slide down from, full of fun, but safety first, a helmet recommended. In Ottawa, others enjoyed the holiday at the Mayor's Family Day skate party at the Rink of Dreams with live music, activities, and beaver tails. And over at the Nepean Sportsplex, it was all about heart health for the first annual Ottawa Mega Heart event.
And we're just really excited to get people talking about heart health and discussing heart healthy behaviors, learning from each other, connecting, and hopefully having a good time with the family, the kids.
With activities and education for the whole family.
It's very important for adults, but equally for children to really know at their tender age how their heart works, how it pumps blood, how important it is for the organism.
Some former patients sharing their stories at the event.
I believe I need to get back, to give back to the Heart Institute as they saved my life. So on March 3rd, it will be 11 years that I have my mechanical valve. Without them, I wouldn't be here right now.
It's so important for everybody in the family to learn about heart health and to start doing heart healthy behaviors.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
If you delay food allergen introduction, it actually increases the risk quite a bit.
How introducing certain foods early can help prevent children from developing food allergies. CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan has this story after the break. Welcome back. A new study out of McMaster University identifies several key factors in children developing food allergies. As our health reporter Pauline Chan tells us, introducing certain foods early can help prevent them.
Eggs and milk are known to be common allergies early in a child's life.
Those tend to resolve by about age 6 to 8 in most individuals, about 80%.
But for the other 20%, food allergies can continue to pose a lifelong threat. McMaster researchers have been looking at 342 risk factors for babies developing food allergies.
International data, over 40 countries, and 2.8 million participants in 190 different studies.
They identified 4 factors as the most important: a family history of allergies, eczema as a baby, delayed introduction of common allergens such as eggs, peanut, or fish, and early use of antibiotics. Dr. Derek Chu says in some cases, antibiotic use in babies is essential, but in borderline cases, families and physicians should be aware it could be a factor in developing food allergies. Chu also says eczema is like a window to the immune system and an early indicator of a sensitive immune system.
What's showing in our studies that if you delay food allergen introduction, it actually increases the risk. If you introduce early, might protect.
Food Allergy Canada says this publication confirms that food allergy development in children is influenced by multiple factors. Early introduction and continued inclusion of allergenic foods, central to our Eat Early, Eat Often guidance, has shown promising results in reducing food allergy risk. Their website offers guidelines to introduce common allergens, like milk and eggs, to babies between 4 and 6 months of age, in the form of yogurt or mashed boiled eggs, for example, and make sure you keep them in your child's regular diet.
Risk factors are just risk factors. That means it's not a guarantee.
But he says being aware of them can allow us to monitor and tailor allergy prevention efforts for each child. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Setting the final layers from the year of the snake and getting ready to gallop into the year of the horse. Lunar New Year festivities have kicked off around the globe. The first solar eclipse of the year will grace Antarctica tomorrow, but only a lucky few will get to bask in its glow. The so-called Ring of Fire will only be visible in the southernmost continent, home to research stations, and some locations in Antarctica will see the full effect. During this type of eclipse, the moon is further away from Earth in its orbit, so it does not totally cover the sun. Looking directly at the sun is dangerous even when most of it is covered, so eclipse glasses are required. In August, swaths of North America, Europe, and Africa may be treated to a partial eclipse. Well, let's take a final check on our weather now. Waking up tomorrow, yeah, it's going to be 1 degree, but keep in mind the roads could be a little treacherous, especially with the risk of freezing drizzle still in effect for tomorrow morning. It is expected to clear out by the noon hour. We are anticipating mainly cloudy skies for Tuesday, daytime high 3 degrees. And finally for us tonight, Lunar New Year celebrations kicked off around the globe. Now, these festivities in Moscow, red and gold traditional Chinese lanterns, as well as panda and horse figures displayed in the Russian capital's snow market. And keep in mind, Lunar New Year festivities that take place over the next 15 days. Here in Ottawa, the annual Chinatown Lunar New Year Parade will take place Saturday, February 21st. Well, that's it for us here at CTV News for February 16th. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team, keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Wishing you a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow.